Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Blades and Banter Skate America edition. I'm joined by Mr.
Clayton Gates.
and Mrs.
Hi, I'm back. I'm Maya.
Maya's back. Maya's back. She said, Maya had messaged me last night and she said, I need to come and talk about the men with you. And I was
Yes.
like, she was like, I'll only come and talk about the men. And I'm like, that's fine. You want to come? Come talk about the men. That's
Like, please.
that's what we need.
We're
I'm
We need.
so
begging.
I'm so thankful you answered my prayers and let me talk about the men because I have
Yeah.
so
And you
much to
know
say.
what? Maybe we'll do this in the future. We'll have like some guests like come on and just talk about like one or two disciplines and like I don't know, like I feel like that could be something interesting that we could have. It's good to mix it up
Mhm.
too. And
Mm.
first off, welcome back, Clayton Gates, to
I
the
know.
Yes.
podcast.
It's been a minute. I'm so glad to be back. I'm very excited to talk about figure skating again. I've been all over the place, busy,
You're back,
busy.
and you're back with like a full mustache.
I know
It's
I
like
started
almost the
a
full beard. It's
I
crazy.
know I started the goatee, and then I know I've been seeing like the Italian beard trend on TikTok. Maybe I'll like kind of trim the side. I don't know. It's like we're just playing around with it now that I figured
Also,
out that I could do it.
so we have a couple things. One, like, subscribe, and everyone. Thank you so much because we got to 2,000 subscribers this
Oh my
past
gosh,
weekend. I t
so
Woo.
exciting.
I texted Clayton. I don't remember what day it was. I literally texted him and was like, "We're at 109, wait, 1,999." And
And I said,
he
I'll
said
take care of
he said, "Give
it.
me a minute." And literally 2 seconds later, we were at like 201 or
Mhm.
2001 or something. But yeah,
He
thank
was
you
on it.
everyone for the support. Oh, remind me, I need to check the Instagram because I posted about questions and I didn't check
Okay.
before we started. But um, also, I just want to shout out the one fan that commented on our preview episode that said that I was crazy that Kevin Amos would medal. Um, Shout out to you, girl. But no, also not shout out to them because it is fair. It was
Oh,
absolutely a crazy take to put him on the podium, but it is also crazy that he even medaled. But
but the circumstances.
yeah,
It's
yes.
the
Well,
The door,
circumstances of it
context.
all.
when you have a door wide open, you just kind of walk through it.
So let's talk maybe a little bit about like general thoughts. What do you guys think about holding an event in Lake Placid?
Well, let me just say, I had a little watch party. Now that I'm back home, I had a watch party with some friends. I have a friend that I met through volleyball who also keeps up with skating. It was really funny because he saw like FS Skating Stan on Instagram like repost a clip of our podcast and he was like, "Oh my God, I know him." So shout out to you, Jason. Love you. He is awesome. But I watched it with him and some friends, and let's just say that we had more hype in that room, in that living room with five people than the stadium did because it was just so empty there.
It was so dead. Like I swear the vibes in like Saskatoon, Canada were better. And
Which is
that's also
also
the
in the middle of
middle.
nowhere.
Yeah, that's middle of nowhere in Canada.
But they
So
have an airport.
they do have an airport, which is one thing that Lake Placid does not. Well, they have like a regional one, right? Or
I
something.
I think you have to
I don't,
fly like an hour
you have to,
out and then drive
the
hmm
into the
closest
city.
airport is Montreal. And
Yeah,
then from
I've
there, it's
heard
like a
it's like an
2 or 3 hour
hour.
drive.
Yeah. Um,
Like, it's insane.
It's not an I and you know what? It's a very sleepy town. I'm sure to like the people that live there, I'm sure a lot of them went because it's probably like the only thing going on in the city at that point. But
Hmm.
um it's very sleepy and I don't know if it's an ideal place to have. I know it has a lot of history with like
Hmm.
obviously with the Miracle on Ice and the 1980 Olympics and all of that, but obviously
Yeah.
it's not going to bring a ton of people, especially when you make it very difficult to get
Hmm.
to.
hmm
And especially like the world nowadays. But
Yeah. Well, on top of that, like everyone across like every discipline just looked exhausted out there.
it was an
Um,
awful event, keeping it
like
real.
everyone looked so tired. It wasn't just like the men either. Like even like watching the women
hmm
today, I was like, oh my God, everyone's dying at center ice. Like,
hmm
and obviously the women were
The women were
great,
probably one of the
especially in
best
comparison to the
events.
men. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
But
But you still tell like the
it's
second half of these programs that were like,
like
it's that point of the season.
yeah,
It's like
everyone was
we're,
remembering that they were 1,800 feet up in the air.
mm,
Like,
Well, also we're getting to that point where, a lot of people will come out strong. Some of these skaters are on their second Grand Prix now where they normally a lot of them sometimes
Mhm.
dip on that second one
Mm-hmm.
because you come out hot, you come out strong, you want to make sure that you start making a good impression with the judges. And it's kind of natural to have that dip because for a lot of the North American, I think a lot of the North American
Mhm.
European people, a lot of their nationals are later in the year, maybe
Mhm.
like end of December, early January-ish around there. Where like the
Yes.
Japanese, it's going to be a little bit earlier in December. They pretty much have to start amping it up now. Like you're seeing, like Rinka
Mhm.
Watanabe has made a big
Mm-hmm.
improvement from her first Grand Prix to now because now she'll have the final and Japanese nationals. This is where she needs
Mhm.
to amp it up a lot, where a lot of these other skaters are have a little bit more time, and I think they can kind of have that natural kind of up down, like kind of the ebb and flow,
Mhm.
like graph
Mm-hmm.
of what you would normally
Totally.
see. And it's just knowing your country, knowing your situation, and knowing what you need to do to be ideal later in the year. And it's also
Mhm.
different because you have to be peaked in February versus March. So you
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
to remember they're a whole different month
Mhm.
ahead of schedule where they need to be at this point. So um but yeah, any other general impressions before we jump into the men?
Well, we talk about what commentary did you watch?
Oh yeah. Who'd you
Oh,
watch,
okay.
Maya?
So I tune into Peacock, right? And
Mhm.
I know that they're going to be broadcasting the event on NBC. But I click on the world feed and I'm expecting to hear Mark or Ted or Chris.
Yeah.
And then the warm up happens. It's silent, right? And then suddenly an annoying voice kicks in. And then I'm dealing with Johnny and Tara. And literally I text my friend about this. I'm like, they're not showing a world feed for people in the US. And she tells me, download a VPN. I got a VPN and I opened YouTube and I went to the ISU page just to escape Johnny and Tara.
I
Like,
always use the VPN.
Yeah.
honestly, I was doing Peacock and it kind of is for I kind of wanted to hear what like the NBC like analysts are feeding
Mhm.
them to say, which I think is kind of entertaining. But like what's more entertaining is just some of the things that they were saying. Like I think it was for Rinka that Tara Lipinski was like, if you're at home, think about the highest fan setting on your ceiling fan speed. That's how fast
Yeah.
Rinko Watanabe is rotating right now. And I'm like, girl, what
Who
are you
is what
talking
does that
about?
Speaking of
mean?
this,
It's like
I'm like,
it's
okay,
Tara
Tara.
Tara is like a walking like chat GPT response bot to me.
where is she
Like
getting some of these lines? Like,
And they're
who is
throwing
chat
in
feeding this
like
to
GPT,
her?
they're throwing in like
probably.
fun words too. They're trying to be like low key and vibes and like they're like trying to be like a little bit more Gen Z
I
millennial. I'm like,
heard
oh
Yeah.
God.
I heard Ben Augusto said like your program ate. And
You
I'm
know
like,
what?
okay,
I
you're not
okay.
25, but all right, Ben. Like
Yeah.
you're not
It's like
Gen Z.
it's giving how do you do fellow kids? Like straight up. It's
Yeah. I just always listen to the world feed. I always just turn on the VPN because honestly, like just listen, I mean, I know NBC
Mhm.
is not targeted to the super fan, being
No.
100% real.
Yeah.
It is not
Yeah.
targeted to the super fan, and that is completely fine. Like
Mhm.
I would say
Hmm.
a majority of their audience are not tuning in knowing a lick about skating. And that is
Mhm.
100% why they do things the way they do. And if you're being honest, if you're a super fan, you probably know how to get to the world feed. You know what a VPN is
Hmm.
and you know
Yeah.
how to get to it
Yeah.
if you're that type of fan. So,
Hmm.
Well, that's
um,
another thing though, is that like Ted was also insufferable. Like just I don't usually say that about commentators, but like
he's
this
dumb,
week
too
in
dumb
particular,
dumbing it down.
yeah, he went on yesterday before the men's free skate for like a good 5 minutes about like using AI to like determine rotations and stuff for like determine if a jump got all the way around. And I was like, why are we talking about this right now?
Well, that's a part of like that ISU initiative, I think, of something
Yeah.
that they're moving potentially towards in the future,
Hmm.
It's
to
just
kind of replace that technical.
yeah.
But I mean, sometimes I think they're too fixated on like how rotated all these jumps are.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree.
I listen. I am if I was a technical controller, I would be very harsh. I'm not going to lie. Like I
Hmm.
am very like I know people were complaining a lot about like Chae-yeon Kim's combination in the short program, but like in real time, like I saw like the Q on both, potentially the
Mhm.
under. Like it's
She
just
bites down on a lot of her jumps.
and when we get
Yeah.
to her, but like she's not getting as much height as she did last year. But like
Hmm.
I would be a very harsh technical controller if I was in that position.
Cinnamano
And
in the house.
yeah, and I understand some people may not like that, and I understand. I understand that like
Hmm.
sometimes we are nitpicking a little bit too much, and I just don't know where the happy medium is because I think you
Yeah.
know, there is something where if a jump is less than 25% under rotated as a cue, which I think there is value to it because if it's not
Hmm.
100% backwards, you still can see that blade turning on the ice, and that's not a fully you you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
Um, and I understand that might be nitpicking, but to me, like, I really value the efficiency and if someone's going to fully rotate a jump, I think that that should be valued and credited. Where you have like someone
Yeah.
who's got those sneaky cheats, like I think that that's something that should be called out. But
Right. Well, I think
I
that
understand the
Mhm.
frustration. Sorry.
the one of the problems I think is like we have these people trying to get into skating, and then it's like I watch this full program and they connect with it, they feel something, and then they get the scores back and they see their favorite skater confused because they just got a bunch of
Mhm.
cues. And it's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
there is a point I
Yeah.
think
I just think the cue call needs to like go. Like
Or they need to
either
have, they just need
like
to
either
be upfront about
yeah.
it, you
yeah, just
know?
if you
Like call
see
it under or like don't call it. Like some of
hmm
these cues are like so stupidly debatable. Like
hmm
and then sometimes cues are used for skaters when a jump is fully under. Like and they don't
hmm
like if it's a
Yes.
jump that they fall on and it's clearly under in real time, but they don't want to give it, then they're like, okay, we'll give you a cue. You get full base value.
There's no
hmm
consistency, and that's the big
No,
issue for me.
hmm
Which I think
not
that's
at
what they
all.
think the AI part would kind of like clean up a little bit. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always weary of like when you go to like replacing um, like humans in a spot of like sport. That's something where I'm like, I'm not,
Mhm.
it's not technical. This isn't technically someone's job because these judges aren't getting paid for this. But
hmm
um,
Yeah.
like I do value, I think I do value like having a human, like looking and taking a
Hmm.
look at these calls. But then that's where you get like personal preference and politicking to happen too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, done with that soap opera. Let's talk about the Kevin Amos Cup of Skate America,
Oh
the
my
men's event.
gosh.
Well,
Um,
this is what is it?
it's not
Oh
Allen,
my God.
Texas.
They were calling it French Skate America. So this is American Grand Prix de France,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
Pretty
I
much.
guess in hindsight, we should have seen it coming, right?
I did put him on the podium. I did, okay? Like I did. Some people might not have, but I did. I put him in
I
the
just,
bronze though. So,
I
Well,
mean,
should we start with Kevin?
let's start with Kevin.
All
yeah,
right.
How'd you guys feel about the Gaga second part, second time we saw it? Um, Still with like
it's
that
still,
classical
yeah.
music and then transitioning to the Judas music in the second half.
I mean, I think clearly he enjoys it.
Hmm.
I don't enjoy it. Like, I don't understand the concept still. I know he explained it. But to me, it's just like commit to Gaga the whole time or
hmm
do this beautiful like classical piano piece. It can't
Especially,
like there's no story there. And I want to sit some of these skaters down and ask them like what is the
What's the
story behind
concept?
this?
yep.
Like which character like what character are you playing?
What's the
Because
vision?
some of y'all got me really confused. Really
Yeah.
confused.
It's sad because like Kevin is someone who has the energy and has
Oh yeah.
the talent and the skill to pull off a full-fledged Gaga short
Mhm.
program. Like he has
Yeah.
no business kind of like
Why is he not doing Poker Face or like Bad Romance?
right,
Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing here?
Or
right.
like he could even start out with like if he needs to keep like the calm music to like jump, he could start out with a Gaga ballad. There's so many good Gaga ballads.
hmm
Yes.
Stars
Look at
Born.
what
Yeah.
Carreira and Lewis did 2 years ago. Remember they did that like they paid
Mhm.
someone or they got like just like a Gaga instrumental music in the background for like a part of it.
Yeah.
Like just do that for like the first because he does the jumps in the first like minute anyways. Let's
Yeah.
be real. You
It's
know?
it's
Yeah.
formulaic and how the program is set up, to what benefits him. I mean, it works. If we
Um
Mhm.
can get him to go clean, whatever works. as long as we do a full
Also,
axle.
we're always
Mhm.
crying in the kiss and cry, like every
Yeah,
single time. And like, listen,
it's like,
it's a big deal to win Skate
mhm.
America, but
Yeah,
it is just Skate America. Like,
yeah.
we still have a long time for the rest of the
Well,
season,
it's just
and
like this is why you don't qualify for the free skate at Europeans. Like you, sorry, like you burn yourself out like this when you cry this
Emotionally,
much.
yeah.
Like that's emotionally a lot.
it's very
Like,
taxing.
and if you're gonna keep that up the whole season, especially like considering there's such little time frame between like Europeans and the Olympics, like
Mhm.
I I worry that he's gonna burn out again.
It
Like
makes it
we
harder
always
to
see him do.
replicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't replicate a big moment over and over and over again like that.
Hmm.
Well,
And-
here's the thing though. Yes, it was a big win, but it wasn't really a good skate. And I mean, just
mm,
general talk about the men's event. It
Hmm.
was so tough to get through that men's event. I mean, like, there were
Hmm.
so many poor skates in the short program and the long where I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And I don't mean to be rude. I really don't mean to
No.
be rude. It
Yeah,
just
it
was
makes
like
sense.
objectively such a bad event. But for Kevin, um, this was not a great skate still. Like his free skate, like he
Yeah.
had a lot of mistakes that
mm.
while he did get a win,
Well,
I think there is something that you can take away from this to help you continue to optimize your success and get more prepared as the season moves along. Because
yeah,
there were a lot of mistakes.
there were quite a few mistakes. Um,
Like
I
he had the
just,
double under on the triple axel.
mhm.
Yeah.
It was the both toes were tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, big win though.
everything, nothing looked comfortable to me,
Hmm.
Hmm.
you know?
Even the toe jumps, like the lets and the flip, are always iffy for him.
Yeah, like, and I also just, I don't understand why he would bring back the most traumatic program of his career
Correct.
either.
You
Like
know,
with,
yeah.
and the changed choreography, like, I don't understand. Again, this is another program where I need to sit him down and I have to be like, what's the vision? You know?
He didn't scream in front of the judge's face this time.
I know.
You saw that, right? That was
Oh
at
yeah.
Canada, right? You did see that, him scream, right?
Of
Yeah.
course. Well, I actually heard it on Twitter afterwards because I was sitting across from the judges. But
Oh. The
but
scream
I
heard
did see
around
the clip afterwards.
Saskatoon.
The scream heard around
Except not in
Saskatoon.
the
Like
arena.
The only thing happening in Saskatoon.
Um, I will say, there is like something to like reclaiming an old program. Remember, because Nathan did try to do that in 2021 when he brought back that Nemesis short program. So
hmm
there is
Yeah.
something I think that some skaters might try to like reclaim something that might have been like a horror for them at the time or like haunts them. But I think
Hmm.
he's doing. I don't think it's as good as the first rendition of the Bolero because that first one he did at Skate
No.
America two
I
years
It
ago
remember
was
that
great. It
so
was
vividly,
is
and I was
so
fantastic.
like,
so good.
wow,
Hmm.
wow.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I feel like that's a general theme is like I don't like skaters that like go
bring
well,
back.
I don't like skaters, but I don't like skaters going back to programs that I feel like had their time in the sun.
Yeah.
Ashley Weidner, cover your ears right now.
Yeah. She really brought back a lot. So, uh, yeah, I mean, I have to say, really great though for him. Because he was 10th in his first Grand Prix. Obviously, he's not gonna make the
Yeah.
final. Like, there's no way, but
Mhm.
um, that is some arc to go from. That's such a
It
men
really
thing to
is.
It's
do
such
to
a
go from
French
10th.
man thing to
It is the
do.
Yes.
most man thing to do in the history of men.
Um,
Like,
okay,
yes.
we'll come back to Shidorov, but the most frustrating man for me at this event actually was Kazuki Tomono
Oh
Mm,
because
my
this
gosh.
man, he had a trip to the final. He had almost like solidifying potentially that third Olympic spot. Like all
Uh-huh.
he had to do was
Yeah.
just skate triples. He didn't even have to do a quad. He could have done all triples
He
and
totally
got
could have.
and could have won. And it like was such a tale of two programs, like that short program where he's like in the club,
Yeah.
like nailing the
hmm
jumps. It almost feels like comparing that to the free skate, like when he has music that like is so mundane and has like nothing to it, it
Hmm.
kind of drags down his overall performance quality and his
hmm
ability to get the technical. jumps done. Because like, remember when he did La La Land and like De Fleur de Mouse? Like that music is so like upbeat that it allows
Yeah.
him to. It almost eggs him on to land the jumps, and it
Hmm.
just feels like this
Yeah.
free skate does nothing for him.
It just sucks
Yeah.
the energy out of it. Like, how do you,
Yeah.
if you're already someone who isn't consistent on your quad, like, why are we gonna put you to a song that's 60 beats per minute? Like, that's not gonna get me ra like ramped
Yeah.
up to go land a quad toe.
I mean, like, I couldn't tell you how his music goes just from like what I remember.
No,
Like,
It's just piano.
yeah.
it's just piano. And again, that's how I feel about Kevin's short program, the first part of it. Like, it's not memorable to me at all.
It's
And
just not his
it's not
vibe.
helping him. It's not helping him.
Yeah. When I'm talking about so when we talk about that, obviously, like, still getting the bronze here is, it kind of puts him even with Cow because Cow got the
Mhm.
bronze in Canada and
Yeah.
had a rough skate in France, but Kazuki was at Canada and was the
And
pewter
was
medal
just off the
there.
podium. Yeah.
Yeah, was pretty close to Cow. I think you think about that third spot for Japan, and I think it's likely between Kazuki and Cow. I think those are the two that probably have the
Mhm.
biggest remaining chance. Um,
I mean, I think at this point it's all going to come down to Nats, right?
it totally will, but I think looking at the momentum, I feel like the trend is leaning towards Cow, which might
Hmm.
be crazy to say,
Hmm.
but Cow seems to be kind of maybe figuring out that free
Hmm.
skate a little bit more and those jumps and
Well, now that he's changed it for the millionth time. But
Right.
yeah,
yes.
but yeah,
Um,
yeah. I really do like the Umbrella's free skate for Cal. So
Mhm.
I'm
Something
glad that he
about
went back to that program. Last Samurai is mourned though.
yeah.
something about Cal, I think whenever I'm watching the two, I do feel more at ease when I'm watching Cal. I'm like, I have a little bit more trust that it's gonna be
Which is
some,
crazy.
which is crazy. No, I know what I'm saying, what's coming out of my mouth is like an
I was
insane.
gonna say like
But like I do,
I watch him like I'm held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
but
Like
out of the two, I'm holding my breath just a little bit less with
And I
Cal
have to
Miura.
say, I'm rooting for Kazuki.
well,
I'm on Team Kazuki. I want him to make it. Love him
ooh.
down. Kind of want him to make it because
Mm.
I want to see that club in Milan. I want to go to a
I would
club.
love for him. I, as someone who is going to be in Milan, I would love for him to take me to the club.
Wait,
Yeah.
actually?
Yeah.
Oh, how
Yeah.
ex oh, that's so lit.
Aren't you going to report there? Like,
Uh,
you're studying abroad, right?
yeah, it's a 2 week program. I low key have to figure out tickets and stuff myself, which they didn't tell me,
Oh
but
my
I
God.
I will be there. I don't know how, but I will will my way into
She will
the
get to
Milan
the
Oh
ice
my
Milan
skating
gosh.
arena.
We
Olympics.
will have boots on the ground.
What events do you want to
Yes.
go to? Which ones like do you want to go to the
Uh,
team event or the individuals? What are you thinking?
I am willing to spend my life savings to go to like the full individual men's and women's events.
Okay. I think that's a good
I
idea.
I would love
Hmm.
to be at ice dance in pairs, but like I only have so much money, and I only
Yeah.
have so many family members to beg for money as Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's very valid.
But yeah, I want to go to the club. I want Kazuki to take me to the club.
I want Kazuki to be at Club Milano. Kazuki, bring back the Florida
Club
Mouse. Come on,
Milano.
Club Milano to Florida Mouse free skate. Bring it back. Or
Yes,
La La Land, but probably preferably to Florida Mouse. Thank you very much. Um,
I agree with this.
okay, we'll go back to the podium. Let's go back to
Okay.
Mikhail Shidorov, who is like
Mhm.
probably the most craziest program combinations that I've seen all season of the men. Um, I thought the short
Yeah,
program was solid. Like he
it's
did
a
his
good
job.
short on him. I like you can tell that he really likes skating it
Yeah.
and that he's had this plan for forever. Um, and I do think they're being again harsh on him. Like
Hmm.
The Lutz
I
was under in real time.
it was,
Yeah.
which I don't disagree with, but like there were some other people in the short program that didn't get calls.
Yes.
Hmm. This is
We
true.
know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
we will. But
Um,
it's just
Smelling
like,
that.
yeah, they were so harsh on him, and I
I
don't.
know. He's giving up easy points on the spins a
he
little
He
doesn't
bit.
is.
practice he doesn't practice those
No.
spins though. It looks
Do
like
But
he
any of the
doesn't.
but that
men
matters. Like that would push him over 90 if he just like got one level on that the
didn't
flying
lose levels?
camel.
Yeah.
Or
And he
like,
got step sequence two in both programs, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
The steps were pretty tough. Yeah, two in the free skate too. Like the step in the free
Yeah.
skate, like I actually like have to say, I tweeted that like it was so bad that it was like almost good. You know? Like when you watch something and you're
It's
like,
Yeah.
camp. It's
it's like
camp.
almost so good. Because like he does have like great jumps and like the quad flips kind of been hit or
Yeah.
miss this year, but
Mm.
the two quad toes in the second half I think are a little risky.
They
And haven't panned out so far
they
this
are, but
year.
it's crazy because like it's so secure in the short program. I'm always like, he's
Hmm.
gonna hit this. And then
Hmm.
in the
Yeah,
free skate, there's two backloaded quad toes, and I'm like, that is so risky. Like, I have a heart attack every time he goes into them.
it is almost 3 minutes into a program versus like 130.
Yeah,
So like that's obviously like just the big thing to point out for
of
that. But
course.
um do you think the vehicle of the free skate works for him in
I
as
don't like this free
I
skate on him.
can't.
I
I
can't do this
can't.
free skate. I'm sorry.
I
Like,
don't feel like I'm watching the same guy as I did
yeah,
last season,
I
and
was gonna say,
I'm
like,
sure
his
there's like
programs, yeah, his
good.
programs last season, or at least the free skate, that felt Olympic to me.
Hmm.
More Olympic than this does.
and it was such a
Like,
weird
it was
But it
one thing
made
about him, he's gonna
sense.
do weird programs.
It like clicked
But
for me though, and I'm sure there's also like carrying like that was his senior debut last season, was it?
no.
The year before was.
He
he
I
has
think
been
his
around.
debut was the post-Olympic season.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
didn't qualify.
He
No,
went to four
I
continents in 2022, the
wait.
Olympic year. And he went to Worlds
I
in 21.
He did, and he couldn't qualify a spot. He missed the free
Yeah,
skate.
he did
Oh,
miss
so
the free
he's been
skate.
okay,
He's
so
been
he's
around.
older than I thought he
So
was. Okay.
He is junior world champion or junior world silver
yeah,
medalist. So he's been around, but
Okay.
he's
Well, I'm
become
sure
recently
more relevant in the
he's
competitive.
conversation.
yeah, he's turned
And I think that
yeah,
gives
he's
pressure. Like I
mhm,
think, we haven't seen the same confidence as we saw from
mhm,
him last season. And then the mistakes
yeah,
in the free are then like highlighting the lack thereof of
yeah.
cohesive program and
I
skating.
also just think him being from a smaller Fed like doesn't help him at all.
No.
Um, like this is the same Fed that like couldn't get him new boots for like several seasons because
Which
they
is
had no
wild.
they had such little money. Like I his his federation like can't politic for him if they have no power and no
Hmm.
money to do anything. So I don't I
Which
don't
is
know.
crazy.
It's crazy.
I will say, singles, the politicking is not like as much,
Mhm.
it's not as much of a thing
Yeah.
as like I say a
Well,
dance.
when we get into women's event this time around.
Yes, I think that
Yeah.
obviously here's the
Yeah.
thing. I understand it going both ways for that. I will, when we talk
Yeah.
about it, I'll talk about the under rotations calls on both skaters and where I understand why one was given the pass over the other. But um like for the most part, I actually have to say, when we get to for the most part, I thought the women's collar was actually very good. I know that
Mhm.
might be a crazy take, but I think they called pretty much everything that was appropriate. Like they called that double
Yeah.
axel at the end for Alysa. Like that was clear as day. That triple
Hmm.
toe, definitely under. We'll get to Rinka. There were some unders that she got called to that were I think were fair, but in
Mhm.
the men's event, like again, still like the quad toe under, fine, quad toe Q for Chae-yeon, like that just feels a lot of it felt very appropriate. They
Mhm.
definitely helped out someone in like the short program, like Daniel Gossel,
Hmm.
who got
Sure
a
did.
little bit of help. Did they not call the quad? They didn't call the
Well,
quad
when you're serving
lutz.
just
He
face
didn't
like
call the
that,
Lutz.
when you're serving a good tango with face and
No, Clayton.
arms,
No, he's
Clayton.
not serving
uh,
Tango or Face though.
He needs
Like
to stop being sexy. I know you like
the
2 weeks ago you were like into it. Like I can't. He can't be sexy.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
the
it did wait
thing
on me
about
this
him is
time.
like he's giving me in third grade, right? When like I was doing theater for the first time and like the choir teacher would be like, "Smile, you gotta smile." And then like I'd be like, "That's him during the short
Mm.
program." Like the whole time and I'm like, "Stop smiling at me. please stop smiling at
I
me.
know it gets like freaky. Like it's not
It's
like a
creepy.
pleasant. It's
And
not pleasant.
also his smile just unsettles me, so that's a me issue. That's something I need to work on, but like
There's an
stop smiling
underlying
at
cause
me.
of that though,
Stop
but
smiling at me. I'm so scared right now.
He needs to be frowning during his tango.
Well, he needs to be
um
giving face. And he could learn a thing or two from his teammates about serving face.
yeah, I mean
Yes.
Memela, he might be doing like 50,000 strokes into a quad flip, but he will be serving face like in that short
He will be
program.
serving face. So who
Um
wins?
yeah, he might listen. Maya loves him, but he might be on 2 feet for like 2 minutes and 40 seconds of a program, but he will die at the end. And he will
But
give you like a little bit, like some performance. You know, some of these
but
other
he is going
men
to serve.
were not.
Yeah.
But
We will talk we'll talk about him in a second, but like yeah, back to Grassel, right?
I don't have a lot to say about him.
I just
He needs to lock in for the Italian team event. Let me tell you that.
hmm
yeah, I mean at this point I'm just like whatever gets my boy a bronze, like like a team bronze in the team event, like I will take Daniel Grassel on the team.
Do you think
Like
they'll switch the men? Do you think they'll do two men?
I think they have
I think
to,
so. I
like,
think so. I
They
don't
don't
know.
have
because
to like put anyone. So
I know
what
they
they
don't
could
have to
do,
split
yeah,
anything, but like,
they'll
I
do
think,
Conti and Machi.
yeah,
They will not switch the pairs. They should not do that.
they
Or
should
They
not
only
switch
have
the
one
pairs.
dance.
They shouldn't
dance.
switch ice dance either. They don't, yeah,
They don't have
like
another
they don't have
option.
another ice dance team. So, like,
They have
realistically,
no
the
other
only
woman,
event
so
they
the men
could
is the only
split
one they could
is the
switch.
men.
Yeah.
So, like, at this point, I'm like, just get him on the team and make sure the tech caller is not Shinamano for that team
And you
event.
put Grossel in the short program. You put him in the short, and then you put
I think I,
the other
I
man
think I
in the
would.
long.
hmm
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
Um, my thing is just his component score. I want to talk about his component score.
okay. In the
So,
free or in the short?
in the short program,
Okay. That's
what
fine.
do we think he scored? Just
He
like, do
scored
you remember off
40
the top of your head?
points.
40
I only know
points.
it because I pulled it up.
Yeah. Okay. What did Memela score a couple weeks ago at Skate Canada in the short program where he landed a quad flip, triple toe, and a quad lutz? Granted, the triple toe, little bit of a standstill, but what do we think he scored there?
Didn't he get like 30 something?
37.
Okay.
He got 37
37.
here too.
Yep. Same
Wow.
score
The
with a fall
problem, I will say
and a quad double.
with the problem with Memela is like with the quad flip now, it's
I
just
know it's
a
the quad flip.
it's a lot of 2 foot skating
Yeah,
hmm
and he's very focused on the
on
jumps
the flip.
for I would say at
Yeah.
least like the majority of the program until the steps. And like it's kind of if you watched Hyen Lee when she was in junior,
Mm,
she used to be like dead face for like every
hmm.
single program until the step sequence. Like she would get through the
hmm
jumps and then she would like turn it on.
hmm
It's kind of like that a little bit. Um, and I
It's
know that
still
like
just
it's a part
yeah.
of their qualification, you know, like to have the second
Yeah.
quad. It's just it's tough, you
But
know.
these scores just like they don't they don't make sense to me. I I don't understand. He with the fall, like he gets the same component score virtually that he got at Skate Canada where he had a
Yeah.
much better short. Like he was fifth in tech there and then 10th in program components. And like here, Grassel was fourth in tech and fourth in components. And I
Yeah.
don't and he went ahead of Jason, which like Jason had a mistake and they also called his axle under for no reason. But I'm like, there's no world in which that should happen.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like I think the 37 for Memela with like clean is fair.
clean?
I think
I
clean he
think
could go like 39.
you
The
think.
I
problem
think
with
they could go
Memela,
higher. The thing is, they're giving him the same components that like he got in juniors. Like
I
Mm,
his
know, but
program com
I will
I'm
say
sorry.
the
I'm
stroking, it's
crashing out.
okay. It's okay. The stroking and like the overall deportment of Memela has not like improved as much over the
hmm
past years. And I think that's where like if you look at him, like it's like a 7.75, I feel like capped. Like with just because of
Mm,
like the stroking, the patterns, and his overall like like he does when he starts the short board, he does like his like, his little pose at the beginning, and then we go straight into
Mhm.
the crossovers. We don't have the same knee bend. Even though Daniel Grassel is horrific in the posture, he
Hmm.
does have a little bit better knee bend than Memela, and that's
Mhm.
something they could definitely work on.
I'm
And overall, that he doesn't finish the stroke and the cross under as well as, some of the other men. And I think
Mhm.
obviously when you're Italy number two, like it's tough to get that
Yeah.
boost, like
mhm.
that's tough for him.
And the height really does do him a disservice because it makes him look a lot slower than he's
Yeah.
actually moving.
Yeah, he's
I
not
mean,
slow. Like
No.
no.
watching him like at Skate Canada, I was like, "Oh my God, he's so much faster than he looks on like TV."
Hmm.
Like he's not slow, and I think the skating skills scores are very fair, but the presentation scores and like the composition score
Yes.
is
That
Mm.
what's
should be a little
getting
bit
me.
better. The
I don't
presentation for sure.
understand, like, what is the point of having composition and presentation if you're not going to score things, if you're not going to score them separately from skating skills?
I would
Like,
go, if I'm being realistic about him,
mhm.
I would go 775 skating skills. The composition would also take a hit for me just because of the lack of transitions because of the
Hmm.
quads. And then I would be higher. I would go maybe if he has a mistake, I think you could cap it at like 825. If he has a
Yeah,
mistake, I think if it's above that, you can go above because there's
you can go
there's
above for
more.
presentation.
Yeah, and he does serve face, but I think there are a lot of things that limit him from being higher, that I think
Mhm.
is like an unfortunate thing, but it's a little bit of like the reality of like how the scoring goes. And
Yeah.
he doesn't help himself out also because he's a little inconsistent in the fall. So he
Mhm.
doesn't get the time to build the scores and build that reputation with the judges, where a lot of these
Yeah.
other men that are clean have that capability to do that.
Yeah.
But let's
I
talk a
just,
little bit about Jason
mhm.
because we've talked a lot
Mm.
Yeah.
about, let's switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to say, um, I think it's time for both programs to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I unfortunately agree.
The
Like,
choreo feels like less integrated in both programs, especially the free. Like, we're used to Jason Brown being like the god of transitions. And
mhm.
when you watch this free skate, it's like we're skating around the rink to do the two axles, and then we're still kind of doing it for the
The triple
combo.
triple.
Yeah, and I'm
Mhm.
like, and then he stops and does like so he does a lot of he stops and does a lot of the posing choreography, which I mean it looks nice, it matches the music. He has great, limbs and extension and all these things we know to be true, but it's not
Mhm.
the same like technical transitional kind of like show and performance that we're used to from him.
Now I will say this is gonna help. This you're be happy about this, Maya. But
Mhm.
I do think he got helped out way too much here, and likely should have been below Memela and the Vladimir Levnitsev.
Yeah, he should that
Um, that
I
part,
literally I was yeah, I was sitting there and I was like Memela should be higher than this. Like I don't understand
especially
like
because of
in
the
the
free
free,
skate.
like
Yeah,
he still won program components, which like it's Skate America.
Hmm.
I knew that they were gonna give him components no matter what, but it's just so tiring. Like
he
especially
does
when it's
deserve
not
to win the
it
components, I will say.
yeah, it's just not his it's not a good free skate, which is what drives me crazy.
You know what it also is? I'm not gonna be, I'm not being harsh here, but he is very clearly not in optimal conditioning.
Yeah.
100% you can tell. And that's a trend that we've seen from him. Like even Jackie Wong said that, and like he's
Yeah.
very, like ties to the USFS, like very like PR safe. Like even he said that.
Mhm.
And uh normally what we see with Jason is he does that during the fall, he's very much not locked in, and then he'll lock in
Yeah.
for nationals,
Well,
but
this is
for
only his second season
doing
fully
it.
doing Grand Prix
Yes.
again.
But the problem with that this year is that these competitions are part of the criteria for that
Mhm.
Olympic slot. And
Yeah.
while he was fourth here, I mean, this isn't really helping his perception. And especially like now you have people talking about, is Jason Brown not a lock? Is Jason Brown
Yeah.
like off the I don't think he is, but if you even have people talking about that, like
I
that's
Hmm.
yeah, I
not
was gonna say
a good
like
look.
he's based off him like again murdering everyone else in components except maybe Kevin. Um, like I think he's still very clearly a lock because
Yes. Who
Hmm.
who
else are you
else is the
sending?
US gonna send? Like, why do we have the third
Um,
spot for the US men?
I mean, they're not even going crazy in components. Like they're like
they're not even giving
eight
them nines.
fives. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Some nines,
there's
but
like a
very.
couple. Yeah, like
Yeah.
86 total, which I think is
I
valid.
I have two other
Mhm.
things to say. One, I'm worried for him because he goes to Finland next week. He's doing back to back.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
I worry for him for that. Let me just
Yeah.
say, I'm worried for him. Second, and I've talked with a couple people about this week. I have serious doubts on whether or not he legitimately should do the team event at this point. Because if the USFS really wants to win gold, they already have a huge liability with the pair team.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the dance is already going to be second place in the rhythm dance, which they probably were anticipating first. And the women
Mhm.
could be, like Alysa Liu could be third, she could be second, she could be first in the short program. I think they should put Alyssa in the short, but um, Amber Glenn could fall apart. We haven't
Hmm.
seen her deliver on like a world stage, like at a world championship, in a really super impactful way that I think there are a lot of question marks now. Like maybe you tell Ilya, water it down, get us the points, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
he could do like a three quad free skate at
mhm.
for the team event and he could still like murder everybody.
Hmm.
Um,
That's just how it's trending right now.
and Jason
Oh,
didn't look great in that long.
No, I think
yeah.
he was given some, I don't know, compared to the rest of
Help.
the field, yeah, he was given some help, I think, when
He was
looking.
helped. He was very helped. Like looking at the scores right now, like he was literally a point and a half like ahead of Memela and
And they didn't call
Vladimir
the
because
second
they
axle.
kind of yeah, they kind of respectively
Um,
got the same points, which
uh,
is crazy.
okay. I would bring back Sinnerman and I would bring back the
Mhm.
Impossible Dream.
His best programs of all
I
time,
think
Impossible
period.
Dream was
those are
so
the two
good.
I would bring back. Like I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It makes they're good programs, good vehicles, because what we have right
Mhm.
now is just not working. So obviously we'll see it next week, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how he looks next week, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody else? So we're gonna talk about Peter Gumenek, yes, next
Mm.
because he did skate in
Mhm.
Russia this week and he's obviously relevant to the international scene. But anyone else, Maya, like specifically you want to shout out from the men?
Um, okay. I have two men that place towards the bottom that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Um, I really like Liam's free skate.
I do
It's
He
like
did
too.
have a
very
nice skate.
it's like very classical like 90s to me.
It's
Um,
from nine it's a movie from the 19 I think
exactly.
1996, right?
It
So it's
is.
very classical
It's
90s.
but I love the soundtrack, so I am glad that he skated to that. Um, and I also wanted to shout out Corey Tortelli's free because I
Mhm.
really like the free on him. I know it wasn't he's just coming back from like a really long injury recovery,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
I really liked the free. I loved the choreo sequence at the end. Love when I love when skaters end on a choreo sequence. And
He's still
I
doing the
love
Pagliacci, right?
yeah,
Does he
it's
still
like a
die at the end?
reinvention. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a
Okay.
reinvention
We had a
program,
lot of
but
people dying this at Skate America, laying flat on the
I
ice
mean,
after.
dying in the programs and dying just in general, yes.
Yeah.
But I loved his
But
Corey's
yeah,
costuming was really awesome. I loved
it was
his little
yeah, really
makeup
good.
moment.
I kind of thought they unnecessarily buried him in the short program. Like
He
that,
just didn't get some of the height on some of the jumps. Like you could
yeah.
just tell the flip just a little bit.
Oh
It was just a
yeah.
little
But
slow off the ice. But
yeah, but 60 just felt really harsh to me.
yeah,
Like
it's
really,
tough. It was a tough.
No
really
one wants to
harsh.
see a
And
60.
No.
I feel for him.
But a good
But
experience, second Grand Prix in his career.
yeah,
So
and I think he's doing Talon Trophy.
yeah, is Memela
So
doing that too? Isn't he supposed
he
to go?
withdrew and Corey's taking his place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So excited to see him there. I love his skating. So I was happy to
Yeah.
see it on Grand Prix, even if I know that those probably weren't the skates he wanted.
Yeah, and it's tough to go to an event when you know you're not in optimal condition, but I mean
Yeah.
that's such a great experience for him that like we
Mhm.
all understand, why you go and do that. Like same with
Mhm.
Yeah,
we'll get
totally.
to Wilkava, but something like that where you're like you
Hmm.
don't want to
Oh,
pass
yeah.
up on that opportunity. But
Now I'm sad.
do you have any final thoughts maybe on the event before you head off?
Hmm. Um, I will say Grassel's free program opens up with the Pope is dead. And
Yes.
I think that if the Pope is in Milano watching this free skate, he will be dead because those jumps are so ugly. And that's what I'm gonna end
Okay.
on.
Okay.
That's what
That's
I'm
a
ending on.
Memela truther ending with saying grassless jumps are ugly. It
Yeah,
makes sense. But Maya, thank you so much for coming and chatting about the men
of
with us
course. This was so
today.
Yes,
fun.
thank you,
We always
Maya.
appreciate you. You're always welcome
Yeah.
here. And
This was more fun than
um,
actually watching the men, so
yeah,
thank you for that.
but thank you so much for coming, and I'm sure we'll see you in the
Yeah.
future. But
See ya.
Bye,
thank you.
Maya.
It was fun.
Okay, literally, Clayton, hi, welcome back. I literally just forgot that I didn't click pause and I clicked stop recording, so now I have to find a way to edit these two videos together.
Yay.
Yay me.
You
Oh,
should
Cody,
add it to the resume. Zoom video splicing.
Zoom video splicer. Anyways, Peter Gumenik this week in Russia,
Mhm.
he didn't skate poorly, but he definitely didn't skate his best in the free skate. And the short. Did he
Mm.
have a mistake in the short program too? I
Yeah, he got like a
forgot.
90, which is I feel like low.
He had like weird mistakes. Like he fell in that final triple flip that I was like, okay, you do not need to be doing
No,
that.
there's no need. He
He
lost to Semenenko and
did he lose to
Kondratyuk.
Mark?
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark
that's
Kondratyuk.
so
It was
depressing
just
for
like,
him. That's really depressing for
and like
him.
we know that the Russians are trying to they're trying to help the people that they're sending.
But I don't think they helped him as much as they helped Petrosian. Petrosian got some crazy, crazy scores. Let me tell you
It
that.
was insane. Like we're talking 10 points higher than what she got at the
Test skate. She
at the
did add a double
qualifying.
axel, but
Oh,
they
this is
helped
true.
her. They helped her way more than they helped Peter. Um,
Which is crazy because when you're watching, like I watched a few other of the women and like Sofia
Petrosian's not the
Moraviova.
best.
No, if you watch Sofia Moraviova's short program, her Carmen is actually really, really good. And you watch that triple toe, and you're like, how do you not give that a +5?
Yeah, I have to say, I watched the top two women. I watched her and then Gorbacheva.
Okay.
Gorbacheva's a much prettier skater.
Oh, for sure.
Much prettier skater than Petrosian. Like if you look at how like the deportment and the basics, so much
She's
better.
faster, her jumps are
Her
bigger.
jumps are
Like
much
it's
clean, much better technique. She does have crazy pre-rotation on the triple lutz, but like that's what that's like very
par for
uncommon
the
for.
course.
That's not an unfound thing in women's skating. So
Fork found in kitchen, pre-rotation
yeah,
found on Lutz.
that's not even that big of a deal. But her skating and the Ave Maria, like some weird cuts, but really nice program. The free skate, if you have the chance to go and watch it, I know some people might not focus. We will cover the Russian nationals here.
Hmm.
Clayton and I will. And if you don't want to watch that video, like that's completely fine. But like we're gonna cover it just because it's a national championship and like there are some the vibe that I'm getting is I think they'll be back next year. So I
Hmm.
think it's good for us to, talk a little bit about them, kind of cover their nationals and reacclimate because I think
Hmm.
I haven't followed as much as I probably should have in the past couple of years.
Hmm.
But we will be covering it. And if you don't want to watch it again, that is all means your prerogative. And, obviously we don't support like the war and what's going on with that. But we will cover their national championship just because that's something
Hmm.
that I think it's good for us to talk about it and it's good for us to cover because there are fans on there that definitely want to discuss it. So
Hmm. You cannot dismiss the drama that is Russian figure skating.
yes,
That
there is
still will
some,
always exist.
yeah, it will always exist. But yes. So let's talk about the pairs. Let's kind of go through the
Okay.
pairs really quickly because
All right.
um underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big storyline here is that the Georgians kind of lost their steam
They
and
lost it.
momentum, which is not totally it's shocking in the sense that they seem so solid this whole season
Hmm.
and that it does kind of like it's jarring. They didn't even pick up a lift, were falling on, or not doing the sequences, the side-by-side jump sequences, which have been their bread and butter.
So easy. And I wrote down, I said, if you would have talked to me after the short program, or even talked to me after the Japanese team skated their free skate, I
Hmm.
would have told you that the Georgians had this win by like a country mile. Like there was zero doubt that they were absolutely going to nail everything. And then they lost 10 points in the combination, lost the side by side, lost in almost their one of their highest base value lifts.
They also had
Um,
they got death spiral back outside to throw a base.
yeah.
Like we're it's like left and right. Like, do we think? I mean, this was did they get a season's best in the short? Was that what it?
Yeah, it was pretty close. Pretty close
Well,
to that.
I mean, I imagine there is some sort of pressure and expectation when you're leading the world champions, reigning world champions in the short program. Like you go in and you feel
Maybe a little pressure,
pressure. Maybe there's, or the lack thereof. Maybe you're feeling so confident that you're not as focused and
but
as
they shouldn't feel the pressure because I feel like they have
I
everything
know.
to be that top team. And it's weird because the mistakes that they did make were on those elements that, I will say their lifts are never the best. His footwork on the lifts are
Hmm.
a little scary, but on like the side by sides and the throw on the twist, like those are normally like so easy. Like those side by sides, um, I was just shocked that they missed both of them.
It was uncharacteristic for
So
sure.
uncharacteristic, but and when those mistakes creep in, you can kind of see that they don't connect as much together. I
Hmm.
think that definitely does pop out a little bit.
Hmm. It reveals
Um,
some like cracks in the fractures in the structure of the pair that they have going on.
I, um, I have to say, like, even though they bombed, no, like, just putting it blunt, like they bombed, but
Hmm.
like, I don't have a lot of thoughts. Like, I don't really feel worried for them.
No, I don't think this is going to be a repetitive thing.
No.
I don't
Um,
imagine that. If anything, they'll come back cleaner the
yeah,
next time. They're still making the final. That's
yeah.
not. I mean, I think they will be okay, and I think they're very much still in the conversation of the Olympic podium.
And remember, she gave that interview where she literally was like, I don't care how long it takes, I
I'm
will
getting
get my gold.
gold. Well,
Yeah.
she will get her gold.
Yeah.
I love her.
Okay, the moment of the week for me, other than Star Andrews, which
Oh my gosh.
moment of the week for me,
Yeah.
was the Canadian pair of Lorian and Ethier. Such a great free skate.
Yeah, they walked through that open door. They
Sandra
saw it.
Bezic program,
Oh, I did not know that.
worth every penny, and
Absolutely.
it's the right cover of Say Something. It's the original. It's the original. And the music carries them because like they're not a team. Listen, they're not a team that's like together. They're not one. Like
Hmm.
they're not Sui and Han doing like what is it, the Bridge of Troubled Water? Like that
Hmm.
is what I consider like unity in skating. This team is not
Hmm.
unity. But the Say Something really does elevate them if they're hitting their jumps. It
Hmm.
really makes them look like a beautiful paired pair team that's well connected.
Absolutely. I mean, we had the Germans here kind of drop the
Fumbling,
ball. I
yeah.
mean, so the Canadians, who else
Chan and
was here?
Hao kind
Yeah.
of blew it too. And they landed their side by sides.
I know they had like there were some strong short programs going on, and then it was just the free was just like
Well, they had the better free than the short.
oh,
Jen
okay.
and How.
I'm getting mixed up now.
They landed both they did both the side by side triples.
Oh,
And then they
in
just blew it on
sequence.
yeah, and the sequence. Triple saw double axel and then a triple toe. She did cheat it, but she stood up.
Who else was I thinking
Um,
about? Oh, the Armenians.
the Armenians really blew it in the free skate.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They had, they fell on like the final pair spin at the end, and it was just like, it just looked sloppy from start to finish.
Hmm.
But I mean, Chen and Hao, like, I guess they're number two. Like, of the eligible teams, they're number two. Like, I don't know who I'm going to put in the team event, but they're there if you need them.
They're there. We'll be here.
They just, they kind of blew it on like some of those, like that final triple flip so late in the program is kind of scary.
Yeah, I would.
Uh,
The first one is what? The loop?
it's the loop. I think they are more solid on the flip of the two because they do the flip normally
Mm.
in their short, I believe. They've done it in the short in the past. Um, they do the loop in the short. So maybe they should move the flip up. I remember they did the flip in the short in the previous years, but um
Now, what is their sow looking like? Would that not be a better
I
option
haven't
for
seen them. I
later in the
don't remember
program?
if they've done a sow. That's the one jump that I think she struggles more with the sow, I think, than the toe.
Okay.
Because they've done triple toe in the short in the past. But and then for Lorian and Ethier, now that you've got like Leah and Trent who like aren't doing amazing this year, does this like kind of do that? Does this open up a little bit of a shot for them to maybe make that team, or do you think that this is just kind of like a one-off kind of
Hmm.
moment that they have?
I'm getting one-off vibes only because they Trent and Leah they had a good short. Was it at Ski
Yeah,
Canada? And I feel like they have the resume over the
they have the
others.
excellence of the elements too.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
so I think, I mean, unless they bomb at nationals, does Trent and Leah have another Grand Prix after, are they at Finlandia?
they're at Finlandia next week.
Okay.
So
So
is
I think,
Danny and Ellie.
oh, okay.
Um, Miura and Kihara, like I mean, the mistake in the short, obviously not ideal, and then in the long, missing the whole sequence.
Hmm.
Um, I don't have a lot to say. Like they just kind of did their job. I didn't really think they were gonna win after the short program, but good for them for standing up on the remainder of their elements and getting through that because you never
Hmm.
really know what can happen. So I just don't have a lot to say. Like they did their job. It wasn't wonderful, but it was enough.
Her dress in the free, oh my God. It's
Do
so
you like
gorgeous.
it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I really, really love it. I will say I think that their two programs together are maybe my favorite package for the pairs.
Of all the top pairs,
Hmm.
I
I
would
was
s-
or Kanti and Machi. Or
okay.
they're second for me, maybe.
My top pair short programs, I think Deanna's short is
Mm,
number one and number two. I like Kanti and Machi's short. I don't love their
hmm.
free, but
Okay.
I like I don't I think the Japanese short is up there, but it's not at the top because it's not original.
But
It's a
it's
recycle. It's a
it's
little,
one for
but it
me.
does work.
It's one recycle for me that it just really, really works.
They do have that like intangible like grittiness that
Hmm.
works with it. I do like the Bolero from
I do like
Metallica
okay, I like
Umbrella
the
Lava
Flyers too.
too.
I just don't like their free as much.
The free is a little long when they don't hit the
Someone's calling the
elements.
phone. I don't
They
know.
never pick up the phone. They never pick it
No.
up. And
Maybe
you
they'll pick
never
it up for the
know.
Olympics.
I want to
It's me
know.
calling. It's me calling her and asking her where her hood is. Why is there not a green hood for
And
to
it's
match the
me,
dress?
and I'm asking her where she got the bedazzled water bottle
Oh, I didn't
because
see that in the kiss and
she had
cry.
a no. Like on the
Mm.
practice and the Kiss and Crush, she had a bedazzled water bottle everywhere.
Oh.
It was kind of chic. It kind of fit her. It fit her vibe.
She's a rich woman. She's a
Yes,
classy lady.
she's classy. She has good taste,
Me and
and
her would get along.
I feel like she would come and tell you like everything that happens in the pair, the drama, and she'd be like,
Oh,
"Listen, like
for sure.
this is what happens, and I don't put up with anything, you know?"
Mm-mm.
So
She's getting her gold and going home.
yeah. Do you want to do the women or the dance next?
Ooh,
Because both were great events.
both were good. I did so for those who had comments to say about me and
Yeah.
watching dance. I was watching my dance. I was doing my homework.
Someone on Twitter said this show would be good, but Clayton doesn't watch the dance. And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's good.
I was
Well,
like,
that's too bad.
listen, we are self-aware,
We are aware, and that's fine.
and that's fine. And
I recognize that.
that's why I watched the dance because one, I think it's so interesting this year. So
Hmm.
interesting. But you
I'm
want to
barely
do
watching it. I'm watching a lot more dance than I did in
well,
previous
you got called
seasons.
out.
No, I'm saying before, even before that, even before the calling out.
Yeah. Um,
But well, you know what? Let's talk about the dance. Let's get into the
let's get
dance.
into the dance
Let's
because
prove them
I
wrong. Let's
won.
prove them wrong.
Um, you didn't I don't think you watched the first group, but Phoebe Becker and James Hernandez were fantastic in their Grand Prix debut.
I saw
Love them.
the rhythm dance was the Mathieu Caron dress.
Did she have a Matthew
I
Caron?
think it was.
It
Yeah.
was I had a friend tell me that it was a Versace like replica, kind of like a
Yes.
Versace dress. I was like, okay.
Yes.
Well, my one friend Lily, shout out Lily. She's like I think she studied fashion or something, or is like involved in fashion. She was telling me all about it. And I was like, oh. I don't know much about fashion if you don't know me, but she was telling me all about it. But then they have this cool like Romeo and Juliet and the free dance. It's like really beautiful, like regal, ethereal costumes. It's like on
Mm,
all white, but like kind of like a tan beige white. It was really pretty. And the
mm,
Browns love the free dance. Love the free dance for them. The Godfather. They're moving up. They were so
yeah,
close to Carreira and Ponomarenko too.
which is tea.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them because
Let's start. Let's start there.
people are PO'd about this.
Well, can
And
I? You
yes,
go
you go
ahead. You go
first.
ahead.
No, you go
Okay.
ahead. You
Okay.
go first.
Let me show off how I watch the dance.
Tell
So
me, tell me.
let me tell you. I love the rhythm dance. I think
It's a good vehicle.
it's my favorite rhythm dance that I've seen this season.
It's up
I
there. It's top three, I
It's
think.
good.
It's top
It's
three for me.
good. And it's like it's packaged well and it's not like
I
tacky.
love her in it.
It's not tacky in your face 90s. It's like they're
It's
bodying
like
it,
cool,
they're owning it. It's
subtle.
cool. She's giving me like if anyone watches Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, she's giving me like Meredith Marks, like just classy in the purple. Like I love it. And it's just they just ooze like this
An aura.
effortlessness.
It's like a
It's
cool
yeah,
aura.
and like it fits, and it's not like tacky interface, just garbage to be quite frank. Like,
Yeah,
you
some of
know,
some of the rhythm dances are garbage. We can
yeah.
say that. We can say that.
So why would I want to be watching those people? Anyways.
Okay. So I understand why people are upset. And then I like watched the skating back and I was like, I think they kind of fit in where they fit in. I think it was
Yeah.
kind of accurate with
Well, what
what
did they
they were
get?
scored.
They got partner set bass in in the
Which, to be
rhythm.
fair, this panel was crazy. This panel was
Yeah, I
super
was like, what does
strict.
that mean?
I don't, it was pattern step based, but
Oh, hey.
I don't think they probably deserved a base level. I will say they probably did not deserve a base level. Um, Even Chock and base, Lila or Lejoie and Loga were getting midline step bait level one on both partners. That's crazy.
That is insane.
The controller here is Sean Restat, who's like he's one of the US, he's the ISU technical head for dance and he's a US judge. I think weren't the specialists were very neutral, I feel like. So they were just kind
Mm.
of crazy. But Sean Restat is the one that worked with Zingis and Kolesnik on their Beauty and the
Uh,
Beast program a couple years ago. And he's the one that like he has a lot of ties to, like Igor Lukanen and
mm,
that I think there's a little here's the thing. I need to pause for a sec, but
okay,
no, I'm good. I'll work through it.
okay.
But I think there's a lot of buzz about the Shibutanis from last week, and they're still trying to salvage that Olympic berth for them.
Yeah.
And especially with Green and Parsons not placing like amazing in both of their Grand Prix, that Carreira and Ponomarenko don't have citizenship still. So
Mm,
Zingis and Kolesnik do. So it makes so much sense for them to politic for the teams that do have citizenship at this point than the teams that don't. And especially with the government being shut down, we don't know what's going on with her citizenship. And I think honestly, if if she knew that she was going to have it, I feel like we would know very, very soon, or she would be discussing it. And I
yeah.
think there's a lot of
And
doubt with that.
I think the
I
scores will
remember
be reflecting
hearing
it too.
I remember hearing a lot of doubt in the summer, just like rumors from people that there was
Mm.
a lot of doubt about that citizenship. Boom. Sorry, I'm getting sick, but it's okay.
Oh no.
It's fine. I'll be fine. But um,
Think about the scoring.
I mean, and I am sick about the ice dance here. Let
Well,
me
can
tell
I
you.
say, so
Yes,
then I go, well, moving on to the free dance. That's where I'm
yes.
like politely smiles because it's the packaging for me isn't like, it's not giving refined. We're looking at this, let's start with it, like, we're looking at this dress that she has and it looks like she went and took some like fake
I don't
leaves
mind hers. I don't mind
and
hers.
pasted it on. And his is also like not my
I would get a new
favorite.
costume for him.
I think both need it. I think both need it.
Yeah, hers is not terrible, but you know what that I thought was so funny in the free dance? You could look at did you see Patrice's reaction for Carrera and Ponomarenko and then Lobariva Briseau? or was it Lo Brave Briseau? Someone he had like a crazy reaction. I think it was Lo Brave Briseau because Marie
Mm,
France was in there for Le Joie and Le Gars,
she
but
was, yeah.
Hatch was serving like mad in the kiss and cry this weekend for everyone. And Madison Hubble
Oh,
in the rhythm
yes.
dance
I
for
saw that
them.
on Twitter. I saw the reaction. She was like,
She was like having stationary bass part two.
yes, stationary lift bass. It's like
Yeah.
my favorite vocal stem in figure skating. I'm like saying it all the time, but it's not relevant.
Um, and even in the free dance, it's not like they got hosed on the levels. Like they were pretty high. The highest base value was like 44, 45-ish. And they were on
Hmm
44 on the base value. They just weren't racking up the GOEs as much as
Uh,
some of the other teams. And I thought that they just looked a little sloppy and a
I
little
was it
slow in some parts that really
the
just were underwhelming.
it's Notre Dame de Paris,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just was like, yeah, I wasn't. It didn't excite me. It didn't make me want
It's
to
not
keep
the
watching
worst
more.
vehicle. It's just not something that's terrific.
Hmm It's
Um,
giving beige. It's very beige.
And I thought that I don't know if you want, but Demotier and Lemercier, the French, the second French, or
Uh,
technically
the third.
they got beat by the third French team. Like that's if
Wait, are
that's
they
not
not the third French team?
yeah,
Wait.
yeah, I'm saying they are.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, third ranked in terms of all the French, like the top French
Yeah,
teams,
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah,
third
yeah,
team
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Sorry.
Right, okay.
Um, but if that's not like sounding alarms for them, like I mean, I'm sure they were probably on edge after Skate Canada. But now they're like really on edge because they're really kind of dropping quickly. They are not number two anymore. Like that Zingis is very clearly, I think, become the number two
Hmm
very quickly. And I mean Zingis has put up almost 200 twice this year, and
Yeah.
they haven't even come close to it. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's not, I'm like looking, I really honestly could not tell you like what the second and third dance teams are going to look like right now
yeah, and I think it's so
for
weird
the
because you
US.
think the Shibs could they'll somehow make it happen. I
They could
really do.
either put it together or dig themselves further into this hole that they've dug themselves in. I could see it going not either way. And at the beginning of the season, I was very confident that like, oh, there's no way
Yeah.
that they wouldn't pull it off.
I like the second French team here, Demosier and Lemercier. I like the rhythm dance. I think good vehicle. Free skate, pretty good. Um,
Do they have, they're the one who has the Cleopatra free?
no,
No.
that's the Canadians.
That's the French Canadians.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm learning.
Yeah. Loboreva Brissot, I don't have a lot to say. Like I think they tech skated just very clean. They weren't
Hmm
super flashy. They weren't like overly interesting in what they're doing this year. It's just very simple and nice.
I don't mind the Daft Punk.
In the short or the free?
Yeah, the short. Well, they're both, these are both Daft Punk?
The free is Bjork.
Okay, Daft Punk.
The short is the blue.
Yeah, that's the Daft Punk.
Yeah, they switched to blue costumes.
I know. It's finally, it all matches the theme.
Yeah. Um, I think this is good for them because they've beaten the other
Yeah.
French team a couple times this year, so I think it's very
hmm
clear where they will be going to the Olympics and
I'm honestly shocked about the third place for them. Like, I think that's, I mean, a good step. Like, it's nice to know that they're not totally dropped. I mean, obviously, the other French team is going to be favored, but it's like
yeah.
they're getting more flowers than I thought they were, which is pleasant.
Um, Lejoie and Legas, big improvement overall, like considering like what happened in Canada.
Hmm
No more exclamation on the character step. They've cleaned up a lot of the issues, or they will obviously, sorry, they need to clean up a little bit of the levels that they were getting. I mean, but here the color was kind of pretty crazy. Like a lot of these teams were getting level ones, like on everything.
Yeah.
Um, the problem here though for them is that now they're kind of like in limbo on if they'll make the final or not. They said
hmm
in an interview it's pretty much between them and Emilia and Vadim getting um that final spot. And Emilia and Vadim have a pretty high score from Cup of China, so
Mm,
they're kind of at a little bit of an advantage. But I mean, it's not like I don't think it's that much of an advantage when you're going to Finland next week for the dance event.
hmm
Like that is going to be such a blood battle
Yeah.
of a rhythm dance or a free ice dance event, but
Well, since I missed Canada, I didn't get to see the rhythm dance until now
the
with
Olay.
the jerseys. It's
Olay.
so it's a disconnect for me because they are so dynamic, literally are,
Hmm.
but the music is so not. The music is
Can I say
so
something?
you like it?
It was worse at Canada.
You think? Okay.
It
Well,
was much better here.
okay.
And they got much better scores here
Yeah, I
than
did
they
see
were.
that.
It was nice to see them like kind of get a little bit of a bump
Hmm.
because I think for a while we were kind of like, whoa, like this team's getting, they got dropped last year. They initially got dropped here earlier this year after not, performing in the earlier competitions. And I think we're all like, what is going on with
Yeah.
them? And they had the bad material. It's just like, but now it seems to be that they're kind of having a little bit of a shift.
Okay. There's just a lot of pointing. I just really
Yeah.
we're just doing the yes.
Well, they're pointing to the crowd,
Yes,
like
but we could do it maybe once or twice or thrice even. But it was like the whole bit of their
I think they
choreo.
shortened the Olay part, which was
Okay.
good because that was the part that really dragged on.
Hmm.
And
I thought the beginning dragged on. I'm like after like the first element or so, I'm like, okay, like
I
it's
think
because
it's
it's just very repetitive.
I think it's okay until the Olay part.
Okay.
But that's my take. I mean, that could be something different.
Hmm.
Some might think something's
Hmm.
different.
Hmm.
Um, all right, talk about your girl because I know you love her.
Oh, the Taylor Swift vice
The
stance.
Taylor Swift, because you said last time in China you were like, she's Taylor Swift. And I was like,
She
is she?
is. No, okay, actually, she's kind of fallen out of my good graces now with this new dress situation. What on earth? It's
Which
giving
the free dance?
free dance. Yeah, sorry, I was doing the free dance.
The cape,
Well, now it's plain black. It's shorter, it's smaller, but then the rest of the bodice of the dress or whatever it's supposed to be is just like leggings and like a
I kind
shirt.
of wish that the inside of the dress was like red. So when she's like
Like the
pulling it out,
first,
you
well,
see
yeah,
like
like the
red.
first dress. I like the first dress.
I didn't
It,
like the first dress and I don't like this one either.
well, yeah, okay. I think
Um,
the my beef with the second one is that it's since everything is black and it's
you don't get the same
you don't get the
effect.
same feel and you're not getting like a silhouette. It's just it looks honestly like messier and like not cluttered isn't the word, but it's like everything kind of just is a blob together since they're both in just all black with this big ass cape.
Do you know what I think they need to do? I think they need to scrap it.
Are we going back to Snake Charmer?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think it's time to just bring back. I mean, Piper and Paul brought back Vincent. Why not?
Mm,
The Italians are doing something that's like, like boring Italian stuff. Like Lila and Lewis are doing like not an Irish jig, but a Scottish jig. Like, just bring back the snake charmer. I don't know what to say. Like, I know it might be hard, but like, just do it. Go for it. Like, I think it would be good.
yeah. I mean the concept is interesting. Like Gabriella Papadakis sold it great on the NBC feed.
What did
She
she
was
say?
she was like, and here, like in her beautiful, beautiful French accent, she was like, and here Madison is the matador.
Matadora.
Matadora. And I was like, oh my gosh, like yes, tell me, Gabby. Tell me everything. But the thing is, like the
So
characters
she's the bull and he's chasing her, right?
no, so it's like a gender swap thing because
So she's chasing him.
normally the guy is like the matador, like the guy who holds the cape and like the
Or is
bull.
he's the bull?
So he's the bull.
Okay.
So the first costume that they had at Cup of China, he saw like the horns on his like shoulders, like it was giving the that's why I liked the other one better because it kind of sold the story more.
They
Um,
had 3 weeks. All right, like maybe they'll come
this
out
is
with
true.
something. Um, the rhythm dance I thought was a lot better than
I
China
agree. I agree for
for
sure. It
just the
looks
first
cleaner.
half. Just the first. And when Madison's like doing the little rapping part, I'm like, okay. I know it was a little like grandpa grandma there, but like she was giving it. If you don't
Yeah.
focus on him and you only look at her during the rapping part, I'm like, this is acceptable. This
Hmm.
is acceptable. And like I was like, you know what, Madison, you go, girl. You do the rapping part. Like I'm good with it. I'm fine.
Hmm.
Um,
My favorite part of the rhythm dance is I did watch For the rhythm, I watched the World Feed with Ted Barton, and he listed out every single song that they skated to because it's a mashup,
He
and
always does
it took
that.
like 30 seconds of like airtime to like list every song, and I was like, this is so funny.
I
But
think
yeah.
that's yeah. Um, in the free dance, you could tell they were getting some harsh levels because they got the in real time they got level ones on that midline step, and they also got the pattern step base in real time. They did
Mm,
go back and correct that on the rhythm dance, sorry, the free dance, I believe. Was it the free dance or was it was the rhythm dance? Sorry, the rhythm
mm,
dance. Um, so they did go back and they got it, it got moved up a little bit of a level, but comparing their scores to some of these other teams that we've seen this year, not overtly super high.
hmm.
It's technically it's the highest total score in dance at the moment. The French were, I think, like a 211 or something at
That
France.
yeah, but that's only because like the French
Yes.
shit the bed in the rhythm
Yes.
dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am actually interested to see when they're all at the final, how the head-to-head goes for all of them between, because I think the top four, if you're being real of how we've seen this season go, it'll be the French, not in any order, but the top four are the French, the British, the Canadians, and the Americans in some order.
Mm,
Um, but it's I'm really excited to see how it all pans out. I just don't
mm.
think the free dance hits the same way that that French free dance does because
No, yeah,
it's just
it's
so
not
good.
it's otherworldly. It's not. Yeah, it's not even comparable. I mean, Maddie gave a quote. She was like, "Oh, like I'm not really concerned about scores from event to event because it only matters whenever we're against like our main competition at." And I was like, "You know what? So true, girl."
And I just learned like what the music of the French free dance is from, and like the stories, like the music is like from the most odd movie ever. I don't like it's from the movie like The Whale or something. And apparently it's about
Mm,
like a person that's like can't move or something. I don't know. It was someone I heard it like in a brief conversation, but crazy what the movie's
wait,
actually
interesting.
about. Well, we need to do more research, but
Okay,
um any final thoughts like on the dance event here? I'm more excited for next week, but
yes, next week is stacked.
yeah. All right. You good with the dance? Are we moving
On
on to
to
the
the
women?
women.
The grand finale. This is actually we didn't go in order because the men were the we talked about the men first because Maya was here, but the
Mm,
pairs were the first. But we're ending in chronological order of how it
yes, we just
went.
wrapped this up today.
Yeah, we did. Guys, we're recording on the Sunday that it'll be up tomorrow at 3, but we're recording the day the event finished.
Look at us.
Look at us.
We're
We're
on top. We're
growing.
on the ball this week.
I don't know if this will be a every week occurrence,
Yeah,
but
so savor it while you can.
just enjoy it while you have it. But where do you want to start with the women?
Should we start with the woman of the competition?
Star Andrews?
Star
Yeah.
Andrews. Sh-
Top 5 at a Grand Prix.
Wow.
Personal best.
The best we've ever seen her skate. And arguably her best material, I would say.
It's good. Very good material. I do think the short program, I might like the
Alien Superstar.
Alien Superstar a
I
little
think
bit
I
more.
can see that. I can see that.
But I think this free
The
skate is
free was
cool.
fantastic. And like she does her own, vocal arrangement and she incorporates it in a way that it's not offensive or tacky or weird. It's really good. It's really well done.
Oh my God, the Japanese judge put her second on the free skate.
Period.
Period.
Get into that.
And she announced this week that she's going to be transitioning to pair skating next week, which we knew.
That
We had
is my
heard.
favorite part about this whole event is that she literally said, "I'm going to
I'm
Paris.
out.
I'm going to Paris. Y'all be easy, but this is what you're going to be missing out on. Like you're getting rid of all this." And she was giving everything that you wanted for TV. She had her boyfriend there, Luke Wang.
Well, he competed too.
Yeah, but he up in the stands, like doing the NBC bit where he's like cheering with with her mom on the side, and like,
He went
oh,
crazy for that
it
race,
was,
which he should.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Give her flowers. Where's the bouquet?
that free skate, my God. And she put the triple Lutz back in, which is like not been
I
a jump that she's had for a long time. I
My
know it wasn't
reaction when I saw it, no, but it was decent for like it,
it
normally she get
wasn't an outside edge, but I get it. It's
no.
fine.
It was one of her better toe jumps that I've seen outside of the toe.
and she did the flip. She rotated the flip. I was like, okay,
Mm.
okay, star. All right.
She's a
Um,
star.
she was the moment of the week for me, and I posted
Everything. Go ahead.
I posted a tweet where I was just like, this is like kind of like what skating and the love of skating is all about. Like
Absolutely.
it's about seeing someone lay it absolutely down that, may not necessarily always be there, but to see her go and then get the marks that she did and kind of get her flowers, like that's just really what it's all about. That's the name of the
Hmm.
game. You know what? It was Dick Button after Christy Yamaguchi skated at the 1992 Nationals when she skated clean. He was like, to come here and to have that performance, like that's really the name of the game. And I feel like
Hmm.
that commentary is like very applicable in this situation for Star here. Like it's just
Absolutely.
the moment.
The determination and consistency she's had in the sport for so long to be like able to be in a place to deliver that sort of like performance. And she's always has like she always has a vision. Like the material, the costuming that she has for both are so fantastic, all the way down to like the detail and like the makeup and the detail and like the dress and like the choreography. It's everything is always like packaged and has a vision, and it's just
Hmm.
like even when she wasn't giving her flowers and when she wasn't like standing anywhere near a podium, like she still is like, I'm still gonna come out and
And
like
still come
give
back and do
something
this.
good. I'm gonna give something good. I'm not gonna half-ass it or just like, it's just
And like she had that heart condition. She has that. She still
mm,
has it. Like she skates with that
yeah,
heart condition that like is so scary to deal with on a daily basis. Like that just overall, it's just so impressive and such a great mantra and, you know, motivator for to see someone be able to do that. I just like that was really like she was the winner for me. I know she wasn't on the podium, but she was the winner, like just for me for the of this weekend.
she's my winner. She's my
Um,
winner.
let's talk about Chae-yeon Kim. Um,
Okay.
I think she's becoming a little bit vulnerable of maybe not making that Olympic team, especially this week because Jia Shin competed in a domestic event and scored really, really well. Had a
I can
really
see that,
had a
yeah.
really good free skate. And Young Yu's also becoming more and more relevant as the days get closer. So I also think it's kind of down to three women. I think Hyen Lee's kind of removed herself from that
It's a
conversation.
little on the outs. Yeah.
Um, with it just being Cheon, Gia, and Young
Hmm.
for two of those spots. And they have that ranking competition in 2 weeks.
Oh
So
wow.
it's coming soon. And that's only one part of their Olympic qualification, but it is still important to do well there.
Mm.
So I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
Yeah, I think just what's, tough about the Chaeyeon Kim situation. I just think that we've seen her come so far from where she started in terms of just like projection and
It's
performance,
so
and
much better now.
it is so much better now. But I think it is taking a step back from where we saw her when she won her bronze medal, and
Really? I think it's gotten much better since then.
I think well, no, that was because she bronze medal was
24.
that was 24, not 25. Okay.
25 is last year. Well, I mean, remember, she's dealing with the injury.
Right, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's just like it's hard to watch because it's like I feel like she's came so far and then it is like a step back and she's trying to rebuild that consistency and like that like she had more of a rapport with the judges, I feel like.
Do you know what I think? I think it's almost better this year, even with the mistakes, the
Oh,
performance
really?
quality. I think the performance quality and the short program, especially, like, I think she's actually a lot better on like just the overall projection and
Mm,
connection to the audience. I know even though there's mistakes, I think
yeah.
it just feels a little bit more earnest and authentic than
I
what
guess
like
I can see that in the short. I think the free is like I'm comparing it to what we saw
just last year it
last
felt like
season.
she was on autopilot for every skate, other
Interesting.
than
I
nationals.
I feel like she was giving more in that. I guess about the four continents performance of that free skate was
I
something
think the
really
best was the
special.
Korean nationals for me.
Okay.
She actually smiled in that program.
Okay.
But I think it's a little bit better that I think she's getting there.
Hmm.
But does she have enough time? Because she's running out. And that's where I'm like, Young Yu could make mistakes, Gia could make mistakes. So
Hmm.
um I don't know. I'm just
What is like is there a clause about body of work in the Korean selection
no.
process?
It is
Okay.
only the ranking competition and nationals that will decide who goes.
Wow.
That's how the Koreans do it. It is always for, well, normally what they do is ranking competition normally determines four continents, and then
Mm,
nationals determines the world team.
okay.
But for the Olympics, they combine that. But then for worlds in four continents, it will be the same situation. But
Mm-hmm.
um, all right,
That's all I have for
yeah,
Chae-yeon.
yeah, that's good. She was solid. It wasn't the best, but I think she's improving, and that's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Kubanova, I know she got the medal here. It just kind of felt a little lackluster.
I agree. I agree.
Um, I think she gets a little bit too high of PCS compared to like some of the other women that are here. Like I think Laura Naki for sure outskates her
Oh, absolutely.
in the skating skills and the complexity compared to her. It just isn't the same, but she does do the jumps, so I think you could go either
But
way.
are
But
they like in the back half of that free? It is labored as all get out. Like it's really a struggle to
yeah,
get those jumps around versus when I'm watching Laura, I feel a little bit more comfortable and it seems more fluid. And something with the arm position, I think I've talked about this before. Whenever she goes into like the loop and the axle, it's like she already has like
she
these,
has the arms
they're
out on
already
the loop.
wrapped,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay.
Well, I think honestly, the biggest thing compared to Laura and Kubanov, even on the jumps, I just think Laura has so much. Laura, whatever she did this summer, she worked so much on the power
She
of
was
her
in the
skating.
gym.
Yeah, that girl was doing lower body workouts because her speed, power, and amplitude on those jumps are so impressive in terms of like the arc and the height.
Hmm.
That second triple Lutz, I was like,
Oh my,
whoa.
and it's consistent too. Like, and she does it in the second half of the free skate as well. It's massive.
It's so impressive to like to see and I'm upset that the judges don't go more with her on it.
Hmm.
They
The
they don't go as
steps.
much.
Especially the steps in the short program, I think it might be one of my favorite step sequences from the women. Something
Mhm.
it's different. She actually is hitting some decent edges. It's dynamic, it's fast. She's engaging. She's giving like with the crowd. And I don't know. I love her material this season. I can't say enough good things about her.
And the interesting thing here is obviously she was up against Kubanova, that's going to be very important for the team
Mm,
event because those two will be
yeah.
neck and neck. And she did almost beat her with one mistake. So,
Hmm.
I mean, Kubanova went clean. So, Italy really does need Laura and Daniel to kind of like pick up a little bit of the slack because of that dance team.
Hmm.
And I think they're on a good trajectory. I think Daniel's kind of had a rough weekend. But so close to a Grand Prix medal and just so upsetting because I think she honestly kind of deserved it even with the one
I
mistake.
agree. I would have had her higher than the short. I would have had her break
Hmm.
70.
Yep. Yeah. 72 maybe.
Yeah.
I would have had her closer to Alyssa. Much
For
closer to
sure, for
Alyssa.
sure. I mean, she's rotating her jumps.
Yeah. The judges I just don't know why they don't go with her more. Like
And
she's
it's an Italian Olympics this year. Like, let's whoop it up for her.
I mean,
Like,
the
what?
Italian judge went with her, but that's
Okay.
not a shock.
What did
But
they give her?
141,
Period.
the USA put her fifth. The United States judge put Rinka Watanabe in first, by the way. Interesting. They put Alyssa third. They put Gubanova.
And so did Tara and Johnny.
Yeah, I didn't listen, so we'll get to there. But
Okay.
anything else about Gubanova and Laranaki? Because I feel like for Gubanova, she just the quality of the skating isn't great. Like the
Hmm.
actual skating kind of feels like she's labored and kind of going through mud a little
Yeah.
bit, and then the spins aren't great. She loses a lot of points on like the steps and the spins and
Hmm.
common things that we've seen.
I think because the first time we saw these programs, I think they were kind of fresh, and now I think they're losing that.
There's nothing new.
No, it doesn't. They're not holding longevity through the season for
Yeah.
me.
Um, okay. The two girls. Oh, we want to talk about Petros. Let's talk about Petrosian first.
Okay.
Um, she did fairly well here this week in Russia. I do
I
think she
mean,
was like overscored for sure.
hmm
I think she like short program, probably like a 72 was a little bit more realistic. She
hmm
looks much fitter in terms of like the jumps and how the whole program
hmm
looks. Um, that quad toe still is like. okay. Like I think she's probably landed like a cheated one a couple
It
times.
doesn't look like it's coming off the ground much.
It's better rotated. It is,
Okay.
they did give it a Q, and I think that was probably pretty fair. I don't think it's a full under. I didn't check a look, take a double look at the
Mm,
thing, but um like the other jumps are solid. Like she does have an inside edge on the lets. I don't know if they'll call
mm,
it. They might call it. They might not. I don't know. But she just wasn't as committed, I felt. I felt like she was kind of like Alysa Liu this week. She was just kind of getting through it, like phoning it in a little bit.
mm.
It wasn't like something where I was like, wow. Like I honestly thought Gorbacheva was like much better. I thought her
Yeah.
performance was like much more authentic and had more perspective. Obviously, they're going to score her the way they are because they need to prop her up.
Hmm.
But I mean, like, even if we looked at what they've scored her like crazy for the past year, it didn't really translate as much to what that Beijing event saw. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that they're keeping the Michael Jackson still.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'd have imagined by now that they would try to incorporate a new program or switch back to another old program
I
that
think they are keeping the Michael Jackson, which I don't know if that's the
I don't
best
think
idea.
so. I don't think so.
It's not a great vehicle for her, but the free skate's nice.
It is for yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
Back to
she,
America.
yeah, back to Skate America. All right. Do you want to do Alyssa or Rinka first?
Mm, let's start.
We can start with Rinka.
Let's do Rinka.
Yeah. I wrote holy blank triple axel for the sharp program.
Yeah,
And this girl, if you watch the practices this week on Peacock,
nailing
this girl
him.
was like, I was like, this girl's gonna win. She
Hmm.
looked so locked in. And that short after the short program, I was like, because she was like, Ami Nakai was on the phone and she was like, hold your beer, girl, I'm coming. She's like, I'm coming. Um,
You can put the axle to rest.
you can put your skates back in your bag. I'm
Hmm.
going to Milan.
Uh-huh.
I do prefer her skating to Ami a little bit
Okay.
in the short. Maybe not as much in the free skate, but I do think she deserved to win the short program.
For
100%.
sure. Yeah.
100%. And then in the free skate, it's a little bit of a controversial thing. Um,
Yeah, let me pull up it's
do
more
you want to pull up the
controversial than
protocols?
I thought. Because in my head, I watch it back to back and I'm like,
I think it
I
makes sense when you look at all the math. And I
okay.
think they honestly, there was one call that they kind of gave her a little leeway on. It was that first triple Lutz, they only give it a Q. I could have seen that going as a full under. Um,
Mm,
Alyssa, I think everything was pretty fairly called. The triple triple was under, the double axel was under. I think maybe Alyssa like PCS. I don't know if like she's deserving a nine. Like I
oh.
thought she phoned it in a little bit.
Oh, I think more than a little bit. I was
She was just trying to get through it.
yeah. It was just so interesting. I mean, I know that there's a different amount of commitment and energy that goes into a short versus a free skate, but the emotional release that we saw from her after the short was very intense.
Well, she said like I need to like stop doing that because it takes up so much of my energy
Hmm.
in an interview. And I do think the difference between her from this year to last year is that Alyssa has that cardio base from last year, where last year she didn't. So she was just dying at this point.
Mm,
And this year she has a little bit of a more of a base that's helping her look a little bit further along in her training and conditioning. She'll need to start peaking though soon. In the next couple weeks for that
hmm
Grand Prix final, she needs to peak there soon, peak for nationals and peak for the Olympics.
hmm
And she said she might bring the Gaga program back for the Grand Prix final, which I think is a great place to try it out.
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, I think that, hit almost 70 in PCS here in the free was like, and there's
I
like,
think,
if we want to pull out the queue, we could have definitely applied it to a few more jumps, I think, in the free.
yeah, I'm kind of over the MacArthur Park.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, I'm ready to see the Gaga,
It's done its thing. She's done her thing.
and I'm very content with keeping the promise. I feel like I could watch that program over and over and over again, and it
Hmm.
really will not feel that stale. Maybe we could get a
No.
new dress, but if you want to feel a freshness to it, I guess you
Hmm.
really want to, but. Um, that I mean the PCS, I know she got 35. People might have thought that was a little crazy. I thought it was pretty accurate with how beautiful and how authentic that short program
Hmm.
is. It's just like it
I mean,
felt
yeah, that's what
it felt
authenticity
right.
buys you.
Hmm.
Like if you're being real.
Um,
So I was kind of shocked by the Rinka protocol. Like I think in real
okay.
time, I think some unders for me like kind of slipped my eye.
The axle was obvious.
That was a double under for sure.
Yeah, the first triple Lutz was pretty obvious too on the replay.
Okay.
I remember thinking the Sao might have been a Q
I
on
didn't
that.
think that. I thought the Euler combo at first glance was pretty good, but
I thought it could maybe have gone a Q, but for it to go to a full under, I was like, huh, I need to go back and look at it. I don't
mhm.
remember the second Lutz.
I
I
don't I remember it being pretty darn solid.
I do remember after she did the loop, I said to my friend, I was like, well, she won. I think she
Hmm.
won. I think she'd done enough, and I mean, so did. But the difference between Rinka, and Alyssa, I think, is that free skate. I don't really think it has like anything that makes you like be like, wow. Like other
Hmm.
than the axle, like the overall like impression I'm left with was kind of like that was really kind of boring.
And this is a program that she also
The
has
repeat,
repeated.
yeah.
Yeah, so it does read stale at
And
times.
the steps at the end really kill it. Really kill the overall impression for me.
Because yeah, she
Um,
ends with a step and not the spin, and it does end on like a note where I'm like, oh, it doesn't build.
it feels such like a weird ending and just doesn't feel like it has any overall arc to the music.
Well, look at this. So the American judge,
First,
99875. The Japanese judge, 88825. Is
well,
that crazy?
she's not number one in Japan.
I know,
She's
but
like number four or five in
don't you
Japan.
think you're gonna help out your homegirl a little bit?
They never do that. The Japanese
That's
judges really don't do
so
that.
interesting to me.
Um, it does make me think that it's really going to be a battle between her and Ami Nakai because they both make the
Mm.
final now. They
Oh
both made the
yeah.
final. And then you can maybe throw in Rion if she could find a way to make the final.
I think Rihanna is the fifth, fourth or fifth.
Yeah. I like Rion skating more.
I do too. I would much rather watch that than the other two, but they
Yeah,
if she can pull out a quad toe and get a Q at least, like
that'd be great.
yeah.
But she has a tough time next week with Monet Chiba and Amber Glenn. But she could beat them.
What did she get at her first assignment?
Two, two,
The,
215 something. Let me look.
was she second or third?
Third.
Oh,
But it was France. It was a tough field. It was a very
yeah. I
tough
don't
field.
know. I don't see her getting a bronze here, if unless Amber
I
opens
mean,
the
she got a
door.
216. That's higher than what Amber scored this year. So
Oh wait, that is true.
While Amber has won, she hasn't put up anything above like a 215. So that does,
Hmm.
but remember, Amber Glenn needs to step it up too. I'll do my preview episode later this week, diving into that. So you'll see that. But Clayton, is there any final thoughts on the Satva Skate America?
Gosh, well, speaking of Satva, I'm ready for my mattress.
Me
I'm
too.
ready to lay down.
But um, well, thank you all for tuning in this week and talking while skating with us. Be sure to like, subscribe, to comment below, do anything, message us on Instagram if you have any questions or anything, and I'll see you guys. I'll probably post something for Eastern sectionals too about that happened this week,
Oh
and
yeah.
there was some great skating there, so be sure to check that out. And I'll post our Grand Prix Finland preview probably Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, you guys, we will see you all next week, or maybe we'll see you soon because I'll be posting the other videos. But yeah,
All
we'll see you
right.
next week.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody. Bye,
guys.
Nolan.
Bye, Clayton.